So I'm going to bring up a little concept to think about when we're working with horses. So we're either teaching a horse something, or after they know it, we're reinforcing it or refining it. So this is going to might help you to have a little bit more clarity. So once the horse knows something, well, first we teach it like we were teaching him to move his shoulders away, and he knows it. So I'm not teaching because he knows it. And if he doesn't do it, I'm going to reinforce. Now that I had to reinforce because he was like, I don't really want to, now I'm going to see if I can refine it. So I'm going to say, can you move that shoulder, or do I have to bite again? Okay. Now I want to do it until it's light. So now I'm going to ask again, can you move it? Yes. Okay. So we're not teaching it because he knows it. We're either reinforcing or refining it. And if I have to reinforce, then I'm going to do it until I get light, which is refining it. No, because you were over here cleaning up manure, and you asked him to move, and he was like, and he moved. And you were asking him to move his shoulder, and he was like, I'll take a step back, and then you quit. So he doesn't. As far as he knows, that's right, because he got that release. But you got it. He knows once they know what you're asking, and you do have to check in sometimes, because sometimes they'll have a question mark in their head. They'll be like, I'm not sure what you're asking. So that's where I'll just give them a little more information if they need it. But if he's blowing me off, I'm going to reinforce it. And then I'm going to go back to, okay, now can I do it? Now can you do it and be light, which is the refining. So teach, you're either teaching it, you're reinforcing it, or you're refining it. Okay? So now I'm going to ask again, can you move that shoulder? Can you move that shoulder? Now I'll bite. Okay? But it wasn't light because I had to bite. Can you move that shoulder? Yep. So, does that make sense? Okay. So now I'm going to ask the other shoulder. Can you move that? Yep. So we taught it. He knows it. I didn't have to reinforce. I could be light there. Now he's licking his lips. So if I have to reinforce, then I have to do it until he's light. So I'm going to ask again, can you move? I barely moved my stick that time. See, I kind of moved my body just a little bit and my stick, and he's like, yes, ma'am. So a lot of times if you have to reinforce, then you can go back to lightness, and now you got a light horse. And now he's licking his lips. So it's a fair way to do it. Now sometimes if you're asking and they don't understand, like they might stop blinking or look at you kind of funny or just like, or give you two ears and like they're not quite sure what the answer is, then I give them more information. So sometimes it's hard to tell, and you just got to, do your best. So let's try that now with backing. First I'll have him come towards me. I open my shoulders. Good. I'm going to stop. I'm going to ask him to back up. I'm going to bump his nose just a little bit to keep his nose on my body. To guide, to say, if I have to, only if I have to, because I want his nose staying right here. Okay? If I want to move the hind end, now remember how I mentioned that V, I'm going to start heading that way, but at any point, if he starts responding, I don't have to go all the way out there. Because he knows this, so we're not really teaching it. We're either reinforcing it or we're refining it. So I'm going to look at that hind end. I'm going to start heading out, because here's my V here. I'm going to start heading out there. I'm going to look at it. If I get all the way out there, I'm going to tag. Because he wasn't listening, was he? He wasn't listening. Does he know how to do this? Have we done it before? Was he ignoring me? Yes. So the lead mayor said, move your butt. And the stallion said, the stick and string stallion said, you didn't listen to the mayor. So now you're getting bit. It was fair. So now I have to do it again to refine it. Okay? So I'm going to start, he goes, you don't have to head out there this time. So, see, that kind of answers the question that you had a little bit ago, because you said, you know, you're over here trying to get it done, but, you know, we've taught it. Now we're either going to reinforce it or refine it. Now, so I'm going to start heading that way again. I'm going to be looking with the intention that I'm going to bite that butt if he doesn't move it. So I'm going to start heading out to that V. He goes, you don't have to now. So I won't ask that side again right now because he's light. I'll go to the other side. Because if I asked again right now, he'd be like, it's never good enough, right? Okay? So now I'm going to head out to the tip of that V again on this side. I'm going to start looking at that hind end. If I get out here and he hasn't moved it, I'm going to tag. He moved it. I give him the release of pressure, and then I got to ask again. Because I got to refine it now, right? So I'm going to ask it. He goes, no. Now, I still had to take a couple steps. I would still like it to be lighter. So I'm going to ask again. Now it's light. Back off. Then I would move on to do something else. Okay? So when I was showing you in previous lessons about going out to the tip of the V, that was for you to learn it. Okay? We're still going to use that if he's not listening. I'm heading that way. You have until I get there to respond. If you don't, the stallion, the stick and string, is going to bite. Okay? And then we're going to do that with everything that we do with the horse. We're either teaching, we're reinforcing, or we're refining. I'm going to turn him towards that. And then I'm going to ask him to move sideways. You don't need to worry about that. I'm not worried about it. Pono the pony's not worried about it. You don't have to worry about it. I wanted him going sideways. That's why I bumped here, because he was only taking his head and he wasn't taking his butt with him. Come over here. Take that hind end, no forward. There's no forward. No forward. I wiggle the rope when there's forward in there to say, forward is not the answer. I want that hind end in there. No forward. I want that hind end in there. Now let's go get that trash truck. Yeah. Now can we back up? I didn't want him that far on me. I needed him to move that shoulder more. The trash truck's leaving, we'll go follow it. It's like the story I told you with the cows and my horse. If they get to push it a little bit, they start building their confidence. Now he's following it, it's leaving, he's in control. But I gave him that something constructive to do there, so he would use his thinking part of the brain instead of his reactive part of the brain. That was good. You're so brave. Now he's licking his lips. There's another truck. Came out of the blue from next door. Oh my God. Give him something to do. Yeah. You're okay. Now he's licking his lips. It's going away. Let's go get that truck. And I worked him through it, so he's going to build his confidence in me as a leader. Because I didn't just leave him idle to worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. So, now that we did something different, you can go back to trying the hind end if you want. Now I want you to try it with that same mindset, okay? But we had to do something in between so that he doesn't feel picked on. Do you have any questions with that? Okay. No. I love this because, no, but now I gave you a different way to do it. Before I was telling you to just go out there and move his hind end. Now I'm telling you to start heading that way. We're taking another step on it. So I'm telling you to head towards there, and if he moves, now you can tag. Yes, and yeah, you don't have to do it hard. Okay, but just take note of that. That's okay. So now go with the same intention out towards that V. And if yep, stop, yep. The other side, because you didn't have to go, you only moved a step or two, so it was better, right? We're not looking for perfection, we're looking for improvement. Tag. You didn't tag though. Well, he started moving all fours. So I'd try again. Yep. And release. Now he's licking his lips. Because you were fair. Now go ask again. Now don't be mad about it though, okay? Okay. Okay. Now ask again. Ah. See how that makes a difference? No, but what I just want to show you something really quick with this. Okay, I'm going to get it. I'm not directing it at him right now. So when I do go tag, it's not a real fast one like that because that feels there's tension in your body, there's tension in your thoughts that way. I'm just going to go. But see how there's a difference between that and that? So it's a little bit slower, it's a little bit more intentional, but it's not with any, yeah. He's like, you women are crazy. Just a little bit more than that. Because you want to be able to touch that butt. Yeah. Pretend like that little plastic thing on the ground is his butt. And the good thing about starting off a little bit light like that is if it wasn't enough, you can always add more the next time you do it.
How's that?
Yeah.
How's this one?
So if you didn't tap hard enough and you didn't get a good response, you can always tap again. Yes. But more with that. But it's like I'm thinking of it kind of like a bite, but like a fun bite. Like I'm gonna get you, you know. So they can read that intention in you. Okay. Because yours was like a little more like. Yeah. 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 So you make it fun. More fun. It's more of a friendly ask instead of a mad because that's where you start losing your rapport. Is if you're going after them with any kind of negative emotion in you. Okay? So now we got to do something else because he did really good there. But you get that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would turn the shoulder out here. Turn my shoulder. So. That's okay.
Yes. Yes. So if you take a step or two and he hasn't responded or he's not a step or two, then you're going to go ahead and tag. Because we're not teaching it, we're reinforcing it or we're refining it. He knows this.
You know, I see you, and, I'm watching your body totally. It's nice and sexual. I know I'm not there yet, but I don't know how many screens I could be with my body, you know what I'm saying?
I can do it better with a visual, just because.
Right, right.
Yes, yes. So first I'm going to back them up just a little bit. Good, good.
How come you do that?
I just want a little bit more space out here. So my shoulder, I'm going to start moving my shoulder. So I'm going to kind of move sideways a little bit like this. Good. So my stick starts slowly coming up saying, if you're not going to respond, you will get bit. See?
My stick is down. So
Yeah. Eventually, we can do this without the stick coming up. Like I can do it right now. But, see, and I can keep it down there, but if I feel like he's not paying attention, so now I'm refining. So we're not teaching. I didn't have to really reinforce. But my shoulder, see, so I'm not really walking way out, which you can. You can. Either way works. But my stick is ready. I'm saying if you don't move, like that last time he was kind of like, well, I might, kind of like, so I'm like, no, that's not good enough. I want you to respond with respect, but without fear. Okay? The reason there's no fear is because I give him warning. I'm being fair. So that stops the fear from coming in. But if I just went whack, he'd be like, I don't know why that happened. That didn't make sense. Now I'm worried. Now I want to disconnect. Okay? That's why we do everything with fairness. That's why we do the phases like this. We slowly bring up the intensity. So, see my hand even starts going that way. My shoulder starts going. I didn't have to lift it anymore because he's like, yes, ma'am. Change my tools. My stick starts, rope comes, shoulders come, then the stick. Rope, shoulder, didn't have to use the stick. Now he's licking his lips. You're not allowed to lean on that. See, but I didn't do anything until he put resistance there. So I only bite if there's resistance. Bring it out here. He goes, you don't have to do that again. Put it over here because I want his nose over here. Good. He's light, he's responsive, he's respectful. But if we slowly bring up our intensity with the things, then it makes sense to them. And they're like, I know what's coming. I'm getting out of the way. Look at him, he goes, yeah. And just pat him for that, because that was very nice. So think rope, shoulder, stick. Yeah. Yeah. It depends. Right now we're just asking for one step. I mean, that's all you asked for. If you ask for more, you're going to keep the motion going in your body. And you might keep the stick up a little bit saying, I want a couple more steps. So it could be like, yeah. 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 Now look at that hind end. Move that hind end away. Yeah. So what I do if I'm asking for more steps is I'll ask with the stick if I need to, but then I'll drop it, ask for a step, drop it, because there's got to be a release of pressure in between.
Did I need to like this?
No.
Moved it, right?
No, you did not. But I'm just going to show you. Okay, so if I'm moving the front end, I want to do more than one step. Rope, shoulder, stick, release, ask, release, ask, release, ask. Okay, so we got to have that little bit of release, and later on we'll refine that even more to where you won't see that much, but yes. But right now, until you get the motor skills better, we got to do a little bit of exaggeration there So ask, release, ask, release, ask, release. Look at that hind end. Are you going to move it? Yes, ma'am. I came up a little bit and he started going. He picked up speed, so I dropped it. Rope, shoulder, stick. Rope, shoulder, stick. Yep. Softer next time with the string. Good. And pet him. So just try to be a little softer with the string, because that was still kind of a, whack. Just a little softer. And if he ignores, then you can get a little firmer. But we got to start with light. Yes, yes. And then we can add extra intensity if we need to. But we always want to start light, or we can't go back to light. Yes, for a minute, and then we can go back to that. So you can practice it, but we have to give the breaks in between. In a while, I would like to do something where he moves for a little bit, because it's too much of, just pushing him around. Okay. Oh. They're becoming twins. He's like, I gotta have something to do too. Now that should have been videotaped. So same thing if I'm asking him to stay with me shoulder to shoulder. So I'm going to put my hand out first, which is kind of like the rope. Then my body starts to go, but I got the energy. Rope, body, and then if he didn't go, I'd use the stick. Now I'm going to relax as long as he's here with me. Rope, you're not allowed to lean on that. Body, stick. He's leaning on that, so I bite. But it's a light bite. That time I didn't have to, so it was lighter. Now you can try the other side. Yeah, you do. No, you. Yeah. So I started with just bringing up my energy in the rope, and then the stick. Stick if needed. And his job is to stick next to your shoulder and never lean on that lead rope. He took that opportunity to bite him. Yeah. Yeah. So we're not teaching, we're refining right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we want them to start tuning into us.
This is what I would do with the German Shepherds when I was working with them, on the hill.
Yeah. So next time I would just, because you started to trot and he didn't, I would wait till he trotted to stop. Because now he's not going to know what the right answer is. He's going to say, well, that was okay, so it's clarity. It's all about being really, really clear with our intentions. So if you trot, yes. 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 Yeah. Good.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why he swings out when he stops.
Well, if he knows that every time he swings out like that, when he stops, that he has to work, then he's going to stop doing it. So I'm going to put out a couple cones, and we're going to work on him maintaining gait and direction. If Pono lets us. So we need a longer line. Because as humans, we get in the tendency of, instead of teaching, reinforcing, and refining, we stay in that teaching too long. And the horse goes, "Ah, I just can't do this anymore, you know?" And Pono's going to take a nap. But that was where we were going to work. That's okay. It's okay. If he wants to lay down, it's okay. I know. Well, no. What I was thinking is I might just have him walk around him and see how that goes. Oh. I'm going to see how he feels, how Pono feels about us first walking around him, and then I'll have Tovenaar circle around him if that's okay with him. But we're gonna find out. It's just an obstacle. It's just, I just got to make sure that he's okay with it, and that I can direct Tovenaar enough that he stays far enough away. That's a lot of trust there, right? Good. So I'll start my circle over here, and then I'll ask him to go over there. So I'm going to bring up my energy, point in that direction, push that shoulder over. Good. Now I put direct energy behind him. Push the shoulder, because that's what needs to go out right now, the shoulder. Now I'll direct energy behind him by moving my stick behind him. It's okay, he's just an obstacle. I'll just make sure, because I have control of that shoulder, so I can make sure he stays far enough away from Pono. Then I'm going to switch my tools, change direction, push that shoulder, make sure he stays far away from Pono. So I look at all these things as just an opportunity. We got to stay far enough away from Pono. Good. I don't care that he missed the cone, but I do care that he missed Pono. Change. Push the shoulder. There was a question, well, kind of a question mark, but just wasn't sure, so I just gave him time. Yeah. Pono, you're so funny. See, I push the shoulder. Make sure he stays away. Good job. See him giving me 2 ears like that? He was like, was that good? And so it was fun for him because it was more challenging because there was Pono the pony in the way. But it was fun. It was fun. But I will have Pono move before you do this. Can I have that back, please? Okay. Move the shoulder. Move the shoulder. Oh, good. See how I didn't quit till he gave me the shoulder? There we go. Good. So I couldn't stand my line because I have a line here when I'm doing a figure eight that I kind of stand in between, but I couldn't do it because Pono the pony was there. I had to, like, yes. Yes. So I'm going to show you real quick.
Because when I was talking to Deb, she was telling me how someone else made it and so happened right then, and then she kind of dances down. He said it was like, in my mind, that's how I understood it.
Well, there's different ways. There's different ways. But and at first you do have to move around a lot. After a while, we have a line down the middle, and I would stay on the line. That's refined, okay? But I try not to move as much as I did. But I had Pono.
We're in a teaching phase right now.
So yes, we're in a teaching phase right now. So when I ask, and then I'm going to back up, push the shoulder, back up, push the shoulder, back up, push the shoulder, back up. I got off my line, but that's okay. It's okay. It's just that's a goal. Good. Push the shoulder. And eventually I want him to stay at the trot. But I'm not going to pick on him at first if he breaks gait. So right now I'm just going to try and do it until he can do one and maintain gait. No. It's okay. I don't care if, things get messed up. Ah, that was a little bit better. He missed the comb, but that's okay. Because we're not picking on everything at the same time. He stayed. That's because that was my goal. I don't care if the furniture gets knocked over. Yes, so we do it until he can. But when I'm drawing him to me, I'm kind of inhaling. When I'm driving him away, I'm kind of exhaling. I'm just kind of like, it's like messing with the air, So I'm in my body too. I'm pushing, or I'm, or I'm drawing, or I'm driving. Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, really? So if you have to move around a little bit more, that's okay. Okay? Because we're learning. We're learning this right now. Push the shoulder, the shoulder, the shoulder, the shoulder. Yeah, I'm going to get out of the way. Yep. And you can do a full circle. You don't have to do a figure 8 every time. Just when you're ready. So first, you could just work on the maintaining gait first. And I'll move Pono. Come on, Stinker. So if you want them to trot, you'll just add the pressure. Yes, good. Then put energy behind them. Yeah, good. Then you're going to push that shoulder off of you. The shoulder or the nose. Yeah. Yes. That's why when we first started working together, I was having you get control of those shoulders so we could do stuff with it. Push the shoulder. Yes! Excellent. Yay! Good. So you'll have to keep more energy in your body as you back up and push them. Closer. You'll get there. No. That was, he thought more about maintaining gait. But you might have to move backwards a little faster. Yeah, good. Well, he's used to it. He's used to changing gait. Yay! And then I give him a break. Because we want him remembering that. This is where he got the release, when he was able to maintain gait after he changed, or during the change of direction. So does that feel more clarified there? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you just gotta go back. Yeah, pick up your backup, pick up your forward, and just, because he's feeding off of your energy too. So if you don't have enough energy in your body, he's not going to maintain gait. And he's used to dropping to a walk. That's his pattern. So we got to break that pattern. So he has to do it until he can trot, and then he gets a break. And so then he'll start learning, if I just trot around that and maintain gait, I'll get a break. Yeah! See, things are coming along really nicely. Yeah. So we're going to give him a break for a minute, and I'll just talk, because what I want to do too is I want to see how he feels again about swinging the tools around him, the rope, the stick, the string. I want to see how he feels about lateral flexion, moving his head from shoulder to shoulder. Because I'm really glad that you said that you were starting to use some of that, bending them to a stop. What I saw in you as you were showing me, though, because, we carry our patterns with us, is you were really stiff. Okay? So if you're offering tension, he's going to offer tension back. So we got to learn how to come down the rope slowly, bring it over without going like that, okay? Right. Right. Yes. Yes. Otherwise, that's our pattern. That's what's, because, we do things with them, we repeat until it gets better. Well, we got to do that with ourselves, too. We got to, do a lot of repetition until we develop the pattern that we need. Yeah. Good. Good. So that was really good around the cones. Yeah. And see, every time we get something we want, we just stop doing that, and then we can do something different after he's done processing, because he's still... So, yeah, I wouldn't touch him right now, because see, he's still doing it. Because when we touch him and they're in the middle of that, it disrupts it. And then he's like, wait, I can't think anymore. So we're just going to let him have that. So what did you feel different when you were doing the figure eight this time, when you were doing it? And realizing that you needed to move the shoulder to get him to change direction. Yeah. 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 The draw. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. Good. Not too many yet, but like last week when it was warmer, more. Yeah. You got a lot of gnats around here, I see. Good. I'm going to turn him this way. See how it didn't take much? So, like, this was I put my hand here first, and then I can come over here if I need to. But it was very light, very soft, very responsive, and very respectful. So, I want you to practice the lateral flexion even when you're not riding, because if you only do it when you're riding, you're not going to really have it right when you need it. So I come down the rope, and I'll put my hand here on his shoulder until he gives. Good. I tried to have him where the camera could see it. So if he starts moving his body, I can just pet him. A lot of times when you pet him and you're relaxed in your body, that helps them to stop and relax. So I'm going to go down the rope. I'm going to ask. So see how that brace is there? Because we got to get that automatic brace out of him. So that's where he's going to need the repetition so that it'll just be an automatic response. And then we need it to be an automatic response in you to do it without the brace.
Okay, so my question is, so he's done that nice brace on that side.
Well, the first time he was moving a lot. And there was a lot of brace there. The second time well, that's what we're working towards. Okay, but the first one is an assessment. Where are you at right now? And he's like, I'm not sure what you want. I got to move my body. And then he came part way, and then he braced. And so I waited for him to come all the way and kind of soften up in his eyes and his face. So that was an assessment. Where are you at right now? Then I look for improvement. Okay, the second one was better. So I'm going to come down the rein. See, he comes part way, then he braces. But then he gave the rest. He's not blinking. Now he is, so I'll release. But this is something you got to do like hundreds of times, like until it becomes just so automatic for you and for him. So if I ride my horse and he gets worried and starts taking off, it's so automatic for me to just go down the rein like that and bring it to my side without even thinking, because it's got to become automatic. And there's no brace in there. There's no, I mean, I'm going to, if he's tight, I'll have to get a little bit tight, but it's such an automatic thing. that, if I catch it right away, he starts to take off, and it's an automatic thing. And if I feel I can't control it, then I do my emergency dismount and I just get off. And I have no problem getting off because I'd rather go home safe than go home with a broken bone. There's Brace. He's not giving, and I'm not going to pull harder. I'm just going to wait on him. Good. So I take about maybe, it depends on where they're at. I offered him about 1 pound of pressure, and he braced on it. Now, as he gets lighter, it'll be ounces. Okay, but I just go from wherever he's at. Right there is about 1/2 pound. And then he gave. But then after we do it at the standstill, then we got to do it in motion. So then you'll do it first at the walk, and then at the trot, and then at the canter.
So when you're doing it at a movement, and you're on it, and the troubadour do they start to circle before you stop?
Yes. Quite often, yes. And sometimes they'll stop because they know that the release is going to come after they stop. Good. So when I'm riding, let me get untangled here. If I was on his back, because now I'm at the walk, and I want him up here, so if I come down the rein, now there's a lot more brace. Every time you add another element of speed to it, then you gotta, because then you're gonna get it at the trot and at the canter too at first. So there's the softness. See how long I had to wait? So it's easier for him to understand it right now at the walk because he's just learning it. So we're still in the teaching phase with this one. But see how when I walked, all of a sudden there was a lot more brace there. So we got to get it really good at the standstill, and then we got to get it really good at the walk, and then at the trot, and then at the canter. So there's an automatic response. Oh, this is fine. I just wanted to show you how if once you add some speed to it, even though it's only a walk, yeah. So I'm going to come down the rope. I'll put my hand on his shoulder every time he gives a little bit, I give. Then I ask again. He gave, I gave. He gave, I gave. He gave, I gave. And on this side, I didn't take 1 pound. Now I got about 1 pound because he's braced. But I'm not going to go any more than that. Well, because it's not going to help him find the answer for me to start pulling on him. I want him to find the answer. So I started off light, but then I got no response, so I added about 1 pound of pressure, and then I'm just going to wait on him. So I offered lightness. It's kind of like the bite, but not really, because it's like, because he started off soft, but he says this is as far as I can go is halfway, and this is his tight side. Okay, he just gave a little bit more, so I gave. So I know he's tight on the side, and it's hard for him to bring his head all the way around, but I wanted him to give a little bit more than he was willing to give. And he just gave like that much more, just a little bit, but he gave. But I wait. I don't add more. I want him, because if I just pull and it happens, it's not going to stick in his mind. But if I just hold that pressure and he starts going, I got to figure out what I got to do to get out of this, then he finds the answer by bending. I release. Then it was his idea, and it's going to stick. He's going to remember it. So everything I do, I want it to eventually become their idea. Just like I didn't want him leaning on this. When I was walking forward, I didn't want him leaning on this. So, I'm going to bite if he leans on it with the stick and string back there. And then I'm going to release once he's going. And then he knows, if that gets tight, I know what's going to happen next, and then he learns to come off his own pressure. Because everything I do, I want it to be, how can I get to be the horse's idea to do the right thing? And it's that release that teaches, but we got to be fair in how we ask. So it's, it's a game there. But let me see that for a second. So he's kind of there, he's blinking. He's kind of dwelling right now, so I'm going to give him a moment. But he's thinking too, because I didn't just rip his head over and say, get over here. I just offered a little bit of pressure there on that rope, and I waited for him to figure out the solution. And when he got the solution right, he got a release of pressure, and then he goes, oh. But still, he's hardwired to brace. They all are. We have to retrain the brain. Just like, horses, when they're born, they're taught to push into pressure. We got to teach them to give to pressure. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, it's with the dominance games. It's. And if something's coming after them, so they're, if they're chasing cows, they're pushing into them. They're taught that's automatic for them is to push into pressure. We got to teach them instead to give to pressure. I put my finger there. I want you to move. But all this has to be retrained in their brain because it's not natural for them to do that. They feel any kind of resistance, they want to push into it. Now he's licking his lips. And yawning. So how I get it to be his idea going forward is what I was just saying is the same thing. So if he leans on that, he gets a bite from the stallion there, the stick and string. Now, did that make sense to him? So now he goes, I am not even going to let there be any tension on that rope. So it's his idea now not to put any tension on that rope. If I ask for him to bring his head over, he gave, I gave. So I close my hand slowly too. I start with just my forefinger and my thumb, and then I slowly close them. Wait for a give. There was a little bit of give. There we go. And I release. So I'm always looking for them to release, not push into pressure, but to give to pressure. Yes. Yes. Because I'm trying to get him to get the idea. So when he feels that pressure, what's he going to do with that pressure? And there's not much right now. It's like a quarter pound. Not even that. This is his harder side, so I'm not going to make it too hard on him because he can't bend that far right now on this side. See, his attention got on something over there. I just hold it. I don't add more. I just hold it. There he gave a little bit, so then I gave. I'm going to hold that again. There. I'm going to hold it. I'm just holding. There, he gave, I gave. So that's how we get it to be the horse's idea, because they feel the pressure and then they have to decide what they're going to do with it. And then if they get a release pressure when they do the right thing, then they go, oh, I know how to get out of that pressure. And then when I have you ride, we'll practice it in motion too. You'll just have to let me know when you're ready for riding. How about next week? Okay. We'll do ground and riding next week. A little bit of both. Yeah. Uh-huh. Either one, whatever you want to do. I mean, we're in this arena, you can't go far. So then I want you to try again, now that we've had a break from moving the shoulder and hind end. I'm going to have you try it again. Yeah, one at a time, of course, but yeah. And so we're reinforcing or we're refining, because he knows this now. So it's going to be the rope, your shoulder, and then the stick if he's not responding. Ask for just a little bit more. There. I wanted him to move his front Okay, ask for just a little bit more because we want him to actually cross his front legs. Yes. Yeah. Good. That was good. Yeah. Because we were kind of looking for accuracy right now, right? We weren't looking for speed. We were looking for accuracy. Can you cross your front legs over? Okay. Make sure that he has enough rope that you don't pull on that if you go out to the V. Yeah. So go ahead. Okay, lightly tap. Yeah. And then ask again because it wasn't light. That's okay. Just get on that side. Yep. Yep. See, so you didn't have to lift the stick because he started moving. Yep. Yep. Good. And if you want more speed, you just pick up your energy a little bit. But that was really, really good. Yeah. See, now he's like, yes, ma'am. Tap. Yep. Then you gotta, if you have to tap, you have to ask again until he's light. But you still had to use your stick because you want lightness. Yes. Good. Now that was light. Then you get off of it. So is that way better? Okay, yeah. So what I want you to do though is just get used to going down the rein because you're already there. Because that's going to give you the motor skills for when you need to use it. Yeah, good. 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 Yeah. So let's say you were talking about your backup. So let's see how the backup is going. Hi, stinker. I know. You're a stinker. Yes, 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 yes. Oh. That's better. Move the shoulder. Yep, yep, yep. Yes. So we don't care that it's not straight yet, because it's hard to go from here to straight. Moving that shoulder right now and then backing up until it's, I shouldn't say straight, I mean staying on a line. Okay, we're not worried about that until we can get him just staying straight without, moving his hind end away. Move the shoulder. So move the shoulder a little bit more. Because he's still kind of going off. Yep, yep, yep. And now ask for backup. Okay, because, yeah, I mean, the goal is to be able to start off straight. And if he's not giving it, then I'm going to turn towards him. And once he's going straight, I'm going to stay straight backing up, but if his hind end goes away, then I'm going to push towards him like this a little bit. And then we're going to start going straight back from wherever you're at. So if you're asking him back and you touch that shoulder and he doesn't move it right away, give a little bite, because we want that to be light. Move his shoulder. Yes. Move his shoulder. Because it's more important to get that shoulder right. And once we get the shoulder right, we're going to get everything else. Just move the shoulder. Just worry about the shoulder right now until it's light. Then ask for backup again. Yes. Yes. Let me see what I could. Let me play, just play.
Okay, what am I doing?
Well, I mean, because when he's not going straight, you're saying move that shoulder back over. So just a correction a little bit sooner. And that's straighter, right? So my shoulder, I mean, I'm kind of just angled just a little bit right now. Eventually I want to be straight. But I'm helping him out now. Come on. Good. So what might help, if he's not going straight, is just to have the stick up here, because it's kind of like pushing on the shoulder and the nose. If he's going straight, I put it down. But then I can bring it up here to kind of push.
Do you think riding him and backing a lot is conducive?
I think that he just got used to that pattern, and it's a pattern. So I'm not even going to let that nose get crooked. I'll put it down as long as he's straight. He's just a little bit off. I'm going to correct sooner. It was just a little bit, but it was still. So it's okay to go slow right now? Because we're working on accuracy, not speed. Can't lean on that. See how that, and I'm not really going at him. I'm just bringing it up saying, I will if I need to, there. So I'm going to go slow. Because first we got to go slow. If we want to get something accurate, we got to go slow first. And even though I'm a little bit more this way now, that'll all even out. Because I'd rather him be angled the opposite way than he's used to and then work on getting it straight. So I'm going to see now if I can look straight ahead and stay straight. I got bigger because he wasn't listening. No, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Let's come back up here where we have some more room. I'm going to get him as straight as I can first. And then I want him to back up straight. It's getting better. I can't expect it to be perfect right away. I'm just looking for improvement. Just like everything else we do. Just get a little bit of improvement. I'm going to try to straighten my body some. He's a little crooked, so I'm going to...
Very first step is hip up.
So that's where I'm going to start correcting sooner. I'm not going to wait till it's too crooked. I'm going to... Now he's staying straighter. He's kind of crooked there just a little bit. There we go. Good. Good. Good boy.
Do you think he understands?
Well, he didn't understand the straightness of it. He understood moving his butt and then, you know, because that's how, it's a pattern. We got to break the pattern. That's all it is. It's just a pattern. And now I'm saying that pattern doesn't work anymore. So it's okay to go slow right now. Slow and right beats fast and wrong. Good. Yeah. But see how I kept doing it until I got improvement. And I just went slow. We'll pick up speed after the straightness is not a problem anymore. And so that was really, really good right there. So since he has a tendency right away to start moving that hind end, correct it right away. Yeah. So he's just, you know, that was always okay before because he didn't know it was a problem. And he would get corrected too late. So he didn't understand. Like you said, he was a little bit confused. So we, you know. So right now he's softer because on the shoulders because we've been working on that. So now I don't have to do so much of that, and now I can just have the stick up here and say, you know, because if he moves his butt there, the rest of his body wants to come this way, and I'm saying that door's closed. That's closed. Yeah.
He is softer on the shoulder.
Right. Yeah.
We worked on that.
So I'm gonna see. I'm not gonna wait until he's already too far into making that mistake. I don't care if it's slow right now. I care that it's straight. Accuracy. Good. Not perfect, but it's better. It's better. And we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for improvement. A little bit of improvement every day means a lot of improvement over time. Good. Now see, he's not kind of straight right now, so I'm going to straighten him first. There we go. Well, hello. Not going to let him get off track too much. So I'm ready right away to correct if that butt starts getting away. I'm just closing that door. Yes. Well, before we didn't have as much control over the shoulder, so we had to be more this way. Now we're getting more control, so we don't have to. Now we can do smaller corrections. So you can walk him around for a minute and then try, but give him a little bit of a break. Just like doing the figure eight is easier now because we have more shoulder control. Yeah. So slow. We're just going slow. We can only ask for one: speed, accuracy, distance, lightness, or expression. So we're looking for accuracy. There. Put the stick up just a little bit, like, because he's coming in towards you. Push the shoulder just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Push the shoulder a little bit. Yep. So you can bring that stick up to be closer by the eye to close that window. It helps. Yeah. Good. Push the shoulder. That was better. So don't be afraid to bring the stick up higher.
How high was I going?
Not very. So I'm going to straighten them out first. Brought the stick up, straighten them out. I'm going to put the string part in my hand. He's getting crooked. Make sure nothing's behind me. Good. But see how I'm just going nice and slow, but then I can bring the stick up. You can use your thumb here, and if that doesn't work, you can add a little bit here and say, I need you to move that over. Good. So it's kind of hard to see if you're going straight, if you're looking at him, because you know, I had you doing this like this at first because he was so, you know, yeah. So if I'm looking up there where the camera's at, I'm going to know kind of where my straight line is. I'm putting a little pressure with my stick because he wasn't really backing. I'm going to put just a little bit of pressure here saying I need that shoulder over a little bit. So I'm going to go really slow right now because I'm looking for straightness, not speed. And then it's easier to correct too when you're going slower. Right? Yeah. Good. But you just have to be able to use the stick. I bring it up as far as I have to get the response I want, and then I take it away. Need a little bit over there, over there. There we go. Wiggle it, because I just want a little bit of motion. So I'm starting to be able to straighten my body out more. And if he doesn't understand when I'm doing this, then I'll just go a little further. There. And then I release. Ask again. Get your shoulder off of me, thank you. I know. There. Good. So he was a little resistant there, moving that shoulder. Yeah. But I just kept asking till I got it. So my tools are quiet as long as he's doing his job. Now it's coming up because he's getting off course. Now I'm going to go back to straight. Now I feel like he's not giving me that shoulder. So if I feel there's resistance in the shoulder, I'm going to go back to pushing on the shoulder until that gets light. I'm going to ask for a little bit more shoulder because he's really leaning on me with that shoulder. So when there's a problem, we fix it, right? He's not straight. Now he's straighter. But see, I had to fix the shoulder. Right. Right. So then I get the shoulder light, then I can go back to it. And then now that was really nice. Right there. So I give him a break. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a lot lighter this week than it was last week. Yes. So that kind of gives you an idea right there, but you know, it's going to help. Yes, and then we got to start using our focus straight ahead to go backwards, because he's also paying attention to what we're paying attention to. So if I'm faced like this, which I had you do at first because we didn't have the shoulder control, okay? But that's a little bit confusing for them because you're looking over here, but you're asking him to back up, and he's like, that's where some of the confusion comes in. But we had to do that until we got some shoulder control. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. Very good. So your homework is the lateral flexion, practicing that. Now there's the braces back, so I'm just going to hold it, hold it, hold it. There we go. Release. Getting the shoulder soft and light before you ask for backup. And then just go slow with the backup, because all we care about right now is straightness. Once that's fixed, then we can go for speed and everything else. Let me get him off of this. And then the other thing is when you're asking them to move the hind end, start heading out towards that V. If you get there, then you have to tag. But see, it was a light tag. See how soft that was? Okay? Then I'm going to ask again until it's light. Now it's light. I'm going to head out to the V over here. He goes, you don't have to. So it's light. So, because we're not teaching these anymore, we're reinforcing and refining. Okay? If we have to reinforce, then we have to refine. Okay? And then the shoulder too. So you use the rope. Shoulder, stick, yes ma'am. If you need more, then you bite, and then you have to ask again. If you have to reinforce. Yes. And then we're going to start working on more draw too, because we've been doing a lot of driving stuff because we have to in the beginning. And we'll do just a little bit of that before we quit. But these are just things I want you to work on. So I'm just going to bring the rope out this way. My shoulder, didn't even have to. It's nice and light. And then if you want more than one step, you're going to release and then ask again. So I'm going to ask, release. Ask, release. Ask, release. So we're not going to work on speed right now. We're going to work on accuracy with these things. Once we have the accuracy, we'll add in the speed. Okay? So put the rope here. Ask, release. Ask, release. Ask, release. And it's very nice. He's keeping his hind end still. Remember at the beginning when we started doing this, he was moving all 4 feet? Yeah. So that's really nice. Okay? And then okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of draw here. See, now I want you to see that when I did that, what I did is I took my stick and my shoulders out. That opens the door. And then I can tap if I need to. But he's going to see it go outward first. It's going to come out here. It's going to open that door. Good. So I want you to do some draw like that. Some draw. Because we need to start working on more stuff where we're drawing him in. So, because you can't have liberty if you don't have draw. Okay? In the beginning we do a lot of driving stuff because we have to get control of the body parts. And then we got to start adding lots of draw. Because if you don't have draw, all you got is, driving him away. So I'm going to open my shoulders, put my stick out here. He leaned on that, so I touched. Good. Good. And reward, reward, reward. That was good. That was very good. One more time. Bring my stick. Ah, see how light that is? Yeah. And after a while, we won't even have to use the stick. I mean, rarely. You'll still use it once in a while. But, yeah. Good. And smile. When he comes to you, yeah. Get excited. He's going to feel your emotions. When I'm working with Troubadour, I'm always going, yeah, that was good. Yeah, yeah. And the more I do that, the more animated he gets. Because it's fun. We're going to add the fun in there. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Good. Good. Oh, I'm sorry. That was good. That was good. Yeah. But see, when I get excited, then it helps him because he feels that excitement. And I want to make it fun. I'd rather just work on those this week. I don't want to do any more because it's hard to end on that note like we did last week. It's a lot of pressure because he's learning. That's one where either towards somewhere in the middle to do that one. And I just want you to try a couple of those draws like that. Because I want to see that the animation of your shoulders coming out, your arms coming out. So just drawing them to you. And you can do the circle like we were doing, where you go down to the end and then have them come towards you. That's fine too. So just don't be so quick to use your stick, because you started to move, but he didn't have an opportunity to respond yet. You got to wait until he hits the end of that rope so that he knows that that was the wrong answer. Yes. Yes. Now you can. Yep. Yes. Yes. Just because he didn't have a chance to respond yet, because he just did a couple steps and he hadn't had a chance. So the one I was talking about is having him stick to your side, go down there, and then draw to you. You can do that too if you want. You can do them just because it gives you more time to get in position. And he's got really long legs. Hi, silly. Hi. Oh. So if he hits the end of that, that's when you tap. As soon as the pressure comes, if he doesn't come off of it, yeah. So just for fun, because I like to do things for fun. So you're gonna be my horse, okay? So we're gonna come down here. Now I touched you because there was pressure on there. So I do want you to make mistakes too, just so I can show you. Oh, look, he's like, I'm with you guys. So I got to be careful turning because he's right there. So I touched because there was pressure there. Yeah. You leaned on it, so I touched. Yeah! And then you give him a, yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, that was so good, Dan. Thank you.
So, but